Now, the frightening teen crime wave that's reached crisis point. From high-speed pursuits to violent home invasions, teenagers and children as young as 10 years old are terrorising communities.
Heart-stopping near misses, high-speed pursuits and dramatic arrests.
I think they forget that life is fragile, it can be fatal, but it also puts the community at danger and puts our members at danger.
This isn't playing out on the big screen, it's happening on our streets. And the offenders aren't even old enough to legally buy a beer.
This is a really different scenario than we've ever seen in the past.
When these kid criminals finally are caught, too many are getting a second chance. And the ones that do get detained in places like this, the Parkville Youth Justice Centre in Melbourne, they just cause more trouble. Just in the past 24 hours, young inmates here have been causing mayhem and seemingly getting away with it.
Well, I think the public has a right to be angry, and there's a lot to be angry about.
It's happening across the country, particularly in Melbourne, Sydney and Queensland. On the Gold Coast last week, a 21-year-old man was the victim of a sickening one-punch attack, allegedly at the hands of 3 youths, aged between 14 and 16. And in recent months, we brought you the story of the youth crime crisis in Townsville, where young crooks are running rampant.
Come here! Stop! Stop! You're on the red! Stop there!
But far from settling down, the problem is only getting worse. It's a sunny afternoon in the suburbs. This luxury stolen car is spotted driving all over the road, narrowly avoiding oncoming traffic. A police pursuit begins and the teen driver picks up speed. He stops to refuel, but he's not even old enough to know how to do it properly, mistakenly putting diesel in the car. The driver stops soon after at another petrol station. 2 female passengers, one only 14 years of age, run from the vehicle and are arrested. The driver and another teenage boy drive away as police call off the chase due to safety reasons. The car was dumped and the boys were taken into custody in the following days.
The risk to so many people's lives on that day was just terrible and deplorable, and we don't want to see that again.
Lisa Neville is Victoria's Police Minister.
We are very, very lucky that no one was killed or injured in that particular incident. So there's no question that these are often difficult decisions for police as well. At what point do you pull off your pursuit because the person is acting so erratically that it's putting the lives of other people, including police, at risk?
4 teenagers were arrested after a separate high-speed chase in Melbourne's north.
I think it's becoming alarming. We're seeing this more often for teenagers in a stolen vehicle being in a high-speed pursuit.
Victoria's outgoing Police Association Secretary, Ron Iddles, says young offenders don't realise the potential cost of their crimes.
Some young people have lost their lives and then their friends come around and say, oh, we're shocked, you know, this shouldn't happen. Well, it shouldn't happen, but I don't think that they understand it could be fatal.
Police kept up the chase for an hour and a half during this dramatic pursuit. It came crashing to an end on top of Melbourne's Westgate Bridge, causing peak hour traffic chaos. 3 teens were arrested. They'd allegedly been involved in 2 attempted armed robberies in the city's north. One of the teenagers, a 17-year-old, was released on bail.
Absolutely, everyone says that we need to give the young people another chance, a couple of chances, but in some of these cases we're talking young people who are committing very large numbers of offences, causing massive concern and harm in the community.
There's no doubt Victoria has the dubious title of Australia's youth crime capital. In the last year, the number of criminal incidents linked to children aged between 10 and 17 climbed to more than 20,000. That's a spike of more than 7.5%. Children aged 14 to 15 now account for more than a third of young people breaking the law.
We've seen a spate of very serious activity by juvenile gangs.
Andrew Rule is a commentator with the Herald Sun newspaper. He says this spate of gang crime and car chases is terrifying the community and showing no signs of slowing down.
Some people are working out how they can lock themselves in. Others are working out how they can arm themselves. It's a great concern to a great many people.
The offending continues even in detention. These photos show the destruction caused by rioting teens in Parkville Youth Justice Centre in Melbourne. The young offenders later demanded different bedding, pizza, better toilet paper and even a Christmas tree.
The staff's orders are you do not touch any of these people unless you're actually defending yourself. So they can stand there and smash up, public property, burn it, break it, do whatever they like.
A Current Affair has been told they were granted at least one of those requests, with fresh sheets and more comfortable mattresses delivered. Literally, soft justice.
It's both early intervention, but then it is absolutely about the laws that try and hold these young people to account, that indicate the seriousness of this. It requires a much broader approach than just police being out there making the arrest.
The youth crime wave isn't just bad for locals, it's also threatening to damage Melbourne's reputation on the national and international stage. It's led to fears the violence will scare off visitors planning to attend the city's major upcoming events, like the Australian Open and the Grand Prix.
Our most livable city is starting to get an edge to it that might start to keep people away.
The state government has pledged that more police officers will be deployed this year to try and reduce the crime on the streets.
We need more police out there on the beat, and there are a lot of police. I've been out to so many of the stations, a lot of pressure out there.
I think what's happened is we've probably dropped the ball and now we've got a crisis and now we're dealing with the crisis, but the horse has already bolted, so it will take some time to turn around.
And according to the Crime Statistics Agency, offences in Victoria increased by more than 13% this past year.